Like, where do I begin? I'm just in the door from the funeral of the martyred Hassan Nasrallah. To say that I feel privileged and blessed to have been part of that experience is genuinely the understatement of my life. I suppose let's just begin with the obvious stuff. The reports that we heard in the West that there was going to be no one at this funeral, that the resistance in Lebanon was effectively finished, Hezbollah have no longer got any popular support, we can all get a good night's sleep. That may have been a little bit premature, guys, because they guessed that there was about 1.4 million people in attendance at the funeral. I have never in my life seen anything like it. The streets came to a complete standstill. Just absolute mobs of people handing me water and cake, by the way. I've never, I was just thinking, if the shoe was on the other foot and there was people of a different ethnicity at a massive event like that in Western capitals, would they be treated with the same level of respect and, you know, encouragement and whatnot? I just wonder, what do you think? I'll leave that for you in the comments. But anyway, inside the stadium itself, I think it holds about 75,000 people. Again, just completely blessed to be inside there. There was people they were so eager to get in, actually. There was lads climbing along floodlights. You know, this now is for a funeral that there was supposed to be no one going to. And then what really struck me inside the stadium, I suppose, is that it was obviously an extraordinarily sad occasion. There's people all around me that I've been working with all week who are crying. The girl, the translator actually with me, who's just an absolute sweetheart, was telling me, you know, this is not just the loss of a leader who seems kind of distant or whatever. This, for us, is kind of like losing a father, because he's been there. We've grown up with him. We've grown up with his speeches. And I thought that was a really beautiful way of putting it. And I really felt that from the people. The love for this man, and obviously the love that he had for his people, was so tangible inside the stadium. And I'm sitting there and I'm part of this real solemn occasion. And it's not just solemn, it's obviously defiant as well. And there's people chanting and it's wonderful. And then this happened. And I just thought to myself, I felt surreal. I was like, is this real? Like, and I had to have it confirmed with someone sitting next to me. I was like, are they Israeli fighter jets? And he's like, yeah, they are. They just come to intimidate us like that. You know, I was like, were you expecting this? And he's like, oh yeah, definitely. And my first thing is, how are Israeli fighter jets allowed in sovereign space? You know, this is sovereign airspace in Lebanon. And Israeli fighter jets can just fly over it. Can you imagine if Britain or America or Israel were laying to rest a national hero and some other army, be it proscribed or not, fly fighter jets over the place where the ceremony is taking place? What an act of provocation. What a horrible, classless act of disrespect. And yet it's fine. You know, this kind of psychological terrorism is absolutely fine, because this country doesn't have to acknowledge anything approaching an international law. And it struck me, one of the reasons why the West hates groups like Hezbollah and hates, you know, resistance, anti-imperialist groups all around the world, is because they have something to hold on to. They're real. They rally behind something. They have their faith. They have their identity, they have their defiance. And that was so clear in the stadium today. I was thinking to myself, what in the West would rally us in this way? What moves us? You know, I can't think of anything that moves us in this way. I mean, Love Island and shopping?